You guys know what time it is. Get strapped in and ready for some good times. This is the Blowed Out Podcast. What is up, everybody? It is your Fatty with a Natty coming at you for episode 75 and the official ending of season 3. Good Lord. That blows my mind, guys. Which, you know, in all fairness, a lot of things blow my mind in this day and age. But I would like to just take a minute and thank everyone. This has been a wild ride. I can't believe it's been 3 years. As of tonight, and you'll hear it twice in this episode, so I apologize. We have a new mid-roll coming. But as of tonight, 125 cities in 21 countries. That's... damn. So, if anyone's listening that reached out and led South America to the listenership, I appreciate you. That makes it so now we're officially on every continent on this rock. Thank you guys so much. That just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyhow, I was gonna get pretty riled up, but then Purple Rain came on in the green room during my show prep. So I had to give that a listen. You can never go wrong with Prince. Just saying. Some of you may or may not agree, but easily one of the greatest things that we ever received up until his untimely demise. There you have it. Anyhow, speaking of wild, boy, it's been a wild week in what has turned into the game show we call living in the U.S., at least at this point, for the most part on planet Earth also. God have mercy. It's never going to get, well, it's never going to get boring, I guess. There's at least that. Whether right, wrong, or indifferent, there's at least always some kind of crazy shit to talk about. So we could talk about, I don't know, the State of the Union. Interesting. In all fairness, I did very much like and appreciate the awards and the honors that he gave, and the folks that he honored during the State of the Union. It's a little different from traditional, but you know what it is. I didn't hate it. One could say it was more entertaining than Bad Bunny. Maybe you don't feel that way. Maybe you do. Maybe you didn't watch. And I wasn't going to. And in all fairness, I kind of watched as I could, being that I was at work trying to pay for this damn circus. But the one takeaway, not one, sorry, there isn't only one. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you identify as long as it's not a cat or an object or a plural. And even then, you're free to do you. But those are the ones that I take issue with. In this context, I mean, I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican or a conservative or an independent. And yes, it was a non-traditional State of the Union. But apparently, there is some wild disconnect between today's generation or today's world and the things that we, some of us, the Gen Xers at least, or at least me, I suppose I shouldn't speak for everyone, but When did listening to someone, whether you like that person or not, but that someone is in a huge position of power, or at least the keynote speaker at an event, such as it were, that you just rattle and heckle and scream and don't show respect. And sorry, I got sidetracked there. There is that also. But the Democrats made me sick. And I don't, like I said, I don't care because they're Democrats. It made me sick that they weren't even willing to stand up for the 100-year-old Navy pilot, World War II veteran, a war hero. There were two of them. And I apologize, I missed what the other guy was, the old guy. But how you couldn't stand for that, or the guy that got the Purple Heart, like all of those things. If you didn't want to stand for the hockey team, fine. You know, it's the hockey team. You should, mind you. But that's kind of, all right, it's the hockey team. I don't necessarily like hockey myself. In fact, I don't. I've been told that I would if I gave it a chance, but I never have, so I don't care. Did they still get a gold medal for the U.S.? Absolutely. Does that still demand some sort of recognition? You bet. But again, you don't want to stand for that, fine. But the 100-year-old war veteran, come on. Or again, the guy that got the Purple Heart, and I apologize, I'm not even going to try to pretend to remember names. But you had the rescue swimmer that saved, 165 kids or folks in the Texas floods. The guy that got shot 3 or 4 or 5 times. I don't have my facts 100% straight because I was just getting snippets while I was at work, but the fact that you couldn't stand for those folks is disgusting. I don't give a shit who you are. And I really think that if you were trying to make some point in solidarity, or taking a knee during the anthem kind of thing to make your point, well, then I think you achieved making a point. I just don't think it's the point that you wanted it to, because as far as I'm concerned, you're a disgusting human, and that was absolutely out of line. The other thing that I started to allude to was old Ilhan and Rashid Crockett, I believe. Isn't that their, I don't know, the peanut gallery that if Oprah would have been sitting there with them, it could have been a casting call for Sister Act 3. Christ. That's insane to me. This is something that is being broadcast globally. You are sitting members of Congress or the Senate, and you're going to act like a 3-year-old toddler? Like it's a baseball game and you're booing the other team? My God. Maybe that's what happens when you go to a Somali preschool, or I don't know. But you are not a Somali pirate, ma'am. You are not the captain now. So as far as I'm concerned, again, absolutely ridiculous behavior. I don't care, again, if you like him or not. I'm not saying I like him. I don't give a damn who it is. If they are the person who is supposed to be delivering the speech, or that you're even there to see, then you act like a normal-ass human and you sit there and let that person talk. That's just the way it goes. You don't have to like him. You don't even have to respect him, but you have to respect the event and the room. And you made it perfectly clear who you do not. And when he said everyone that feels like government should be putting American citizens first, and you still refuse to stand, again, you made your message loud and clear, folks. And I know who I will not be voting for anytime soon. Also, if we're going to go down that road, and you know that that is being broadcast to the world, and you wear your fuck ice pin to make your statement, then you don't get to say anything about how we represent ourselves or what we do because, of what about the children or blah, blah. No, you just don't. And as far as I'm concerned, if the NFL and the NBA and the NHL and the MLB and I don't know, all them sports teams, hell, NASCAR, whatever, if they can get fined for screaming an F-bomb on the sidelines and it happens to get picked up on the microphone and broadcast on national TV and they get fined like $30,000 for it, then they damn sure ought to be able to do the same thing in the House. And the fact that they were even allowed to stay there is beyond crazy. They booted old Al Green Sharpton Jackson with his sign, because he needed apparently to stay relevant on TV. I don't know. I don't get it. But personally, again, if that's going to be your line of behavior in that type of a situation, then go out front with Joy Reid or whatever her name is. I don't know, Will Smith's son that was outside singing songs and having their own State of the Union thingy for the tens of people that showed up. Go out there with them. And I realize I'm going to get a bunch of hate for this because Trump also does it and shouts out and says random dumb shit off the wall stuff, but not in that same context. Anyhow, I'll get off of that little rant now. The bonus is between Gavin Newsom and Bernie Sanders and AOC and Kamala Harris and all the rest of them, there's plenty of other shit to talk about because the jokes just keep writing themselves. Lord, it's funny sitting here thinking about all the episodes over the past several years, and I always said that I didn't want to be this guy, or I didn't want the show to be this. But I feel like it's kind of settled in nice. Like, I don't mind it anymore. This isn't NPR, because we're just talking shit and having fun with the best of them. And if you act a damn fool on TV, then I'm going to call your ass out on it. And I hope everybody enjoys it all around the globe. Speaking of fools in the media, it's only fair that by giving Jasmine Crockett shit about it, I should also give Gavin Newsom the same shit, but the opposite direction. Because apparently y'all didn't know that Gavin Newsom was from the streets. Because he's gone full hood this week, as I hope all of you have seen. I would dare say that he has taken pandering to his audience to a whole new level. You can't make this shit up, guys. You gotta be a dumb asshole, which we already knew he was, in all fairness. But to just come right out and say the stuff that he did, my God. about his SAT scores and then like trying to give dudes high fives and just hamming it up for the crowd. Well, congratulations, sir. You're just confirming all of the things we already knew. That we knew you probably didn't score very high on your SATs. But man, I did not see that coming, guys. Anyhow, gonna take a quick break and we'll be back. Hey folks, Ryan here, aka the Fatty with a Natty. Are you a business owner or marketing director looking to explore advertising on the Blowed Out podcast? As we prepare to enter our 4th season, we've gained a listening audience in over 125 cities spread across 21 countries worldwide. That includes a very large listening base right here in northern Utah. To find out how we can help your business grow or to discuss pricing and frequency options, email us at blowedoutpodcast@gmail.com and be sure to include marketing in the subject line. Again, that's blowedoutpodcast@gmail.com, subject marketing. And just like that, we're back. Also, I was thinking about during the break, how is it that you can be 136, ish years old, like Bernie, and not, at least as he claims, have a clue how to get your birth certificate? Why is this such an issue if fraud isn't the underlying line, guys? Why is it that so many people are making such a grandiose deal about having to have ID to vote? That doesn't make sense to me, and I assume anyone else. I can't even buy the delicious frosty beverage that I'm buying without ID. Why wouldn't you need to be ID'd to vote? Unless you were hoping for a bunch of folks to vote that couldn't have ID or couldn't legally obtain ID. That's just ridiculous and makes no sense. I couldn't just go to Spain or Germany or Mexico or anywhere and just vote because I wanted to and I was there, right? That just doesn't, the math ain't math in there, and I don't know why they are continuing to try and stand on that. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make sense to anyone. This seems to be a recurring theme happening right now, at least in this country, and I'm certain that we're not the only ones. But either they think we're really stupid or they're hoping that we just don't care. I don't know. I'll leave that for you guys to decide. But on the flip side of that, it may not matter because if we continue staging warships in the Middle East, we're going to have a lot bigger fish to fry. And like I've said before, there are a lot of things floating around that, again, we don't know if they're true or real or not. But apparently the Imam, Ayatollah, I don't know which one he is, Iran's head dude, Iran's head dude, however you choose to say it, has apparently threatened to kidnap Trump. Again, could be fake news, could just be internet horseshit. I don't see that going well for them. I also don't see, refusing to abide by whatever deadline, whatever thing that we have told them, and I'll leave it at that because I don't care to necessarily elaborate. I can't speak of these things with any fact. But whatever we have told them has to happen by the end of the week. I assume it's something to do with refining weapons-grade uranium. I don't understand why they think that by choosing to not do so is going to pan out well for them. They really don't have a leg to stand on other than the fact that all of those countries who also happen to hate us will probably jump on the bandwagon. Yemen, Syria, and again, I hope that I'm speaking out of turn here, and possibly those countries know better. Since I don't know, they're the size of Rhode Island or something. It would be very easy with what is allegedly staged in that neck of the woods to wipe those places just clean of existence. Much like a lot of other things, I honestly hope it doesn't come to that. It's not going to pan out well for any of us, and I hope that we don't choose to I was going to say engage, but I definitely hope that we don't choose to try and go boots on ground, just because there's no reason that it has to come to that, first of all. Second of all, there's literally no reason for us to risk loss of life when it could easily just be handled by air. But again, I'm biased, and I also hope that it doesn't come to that. Either way, time will tell, much like everything else. Everything, literally everything. Gas, groceries. The only thing that I don't see coming down is the housing market, but that also is geographically biased. Here in the wonderful, undecided whether it's winter or spring state of Utah, the housing market is out of control, as many of you know. So I don't see that changing drastically anytime soon, sadly, because at this rate, I don't foresee my kids ever being able to purchase a home. So I hope that changes, but as for now, it's holding strong. Much like my weight. My weight is holding strong at a lot. Granted, I haven't been going to the gym nearly as much as I should to work on these beautiful moobs, but, I've grown fond of them over the years, and theoretically, some people like them. I know the grocers like them because I continue to purchase things from said retailers to feed these wonderful fat chesticles that I possess. Either way, again, time will tell. I'm not sure why I just thought about it, but I did just see that if you are interested in purchasing a mobile dumpster, aka a Cybertruck, that Tesla, suppose I can't just call it Elon, but I did see that they are currently offering $20,000 off of a new Cybertruck. If you're into that sort of god-awful thing, I'm not sure why you would be, other than apparently they're bulletproof. But, I guess if you want to drive down the road and have kids point and laugh at you, just head on down to your local Tesla dealer and swoop yourself up a Cybertruck. Gross. But if you do, hit me up and I will send you a blowed out podcast sticker just to put on your mobile dumpster. And you can say a lot of things about it. The EV part. If you're still under the impression that somehow it is environmentally better, which pretty sure there can't be anyone left that thinks that, right? But if for some reason you like the styling, again, I don't know how that's possible, but if you do, then tear it up. Once upon a time, cars were beautiful, made with style and sleek lines and engines that really made a statement. But much like the 70s, those days are gone. But you will never convince me that somehow a Cybertruck, or even a Tesla, or even, hell, most of the new vehicles on the road, regardless of the manufacturer, can even hold a candle to the amazing styling and lines and the power and just commanding a presence like the old days. And again, ping-ponged on that topic, but those days also are gone. I suppose there is the bonus of the new tax credit, which allows you to write off your vehicle interest if it was, I don't know if it's manufactured or if the parent company just has to be U.S., but there is that, because I am currently faced with some tax mess, and I don't know. I am curious to know, and would like to hear from all you guys. Well, at least here, I have to try and remember that I'm not just speaking to folks in the U.S., but I would love to hear from all of you, because I am curious, without Googling, how it works in other parts of the world. But I just started doing my income tax return for this year, and I owe more than I ever have. Now, granted, technically, even though it isn't much, I have made more than I ever have, or at least kind of neck and neck with the most I've ever made. But I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. Because clearly I'm doing something wrong other than just evading. But my taxes are out of control. They want a sizable chunk of change. I'd be curious to know how that's working out for everyone else, because it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I did not make that much money, and granted, I don't have a lot of write-offs anymore these days, but it's enough that it's troubling, and I don't know if I'm just doing something wrong, or if there's some sort of trick or a hack that someone needs to clue my poor old ass into, because at this rate, I'm still going to be paying on them when I have to file again and probably pay again next year, right? I don't get it. For anyone who isn't in this debacle, congratulations. I'm jealous. of you for that. I don't know if it's, I don't know, technically dual income, which is dumb, but whatever. Apparently I need to give a lot more to charity. Maybe that will help. I don't know. Clue me in, guys, would you please? It certainly wouldn't behoove me to go sign up to be a snow shoveler for $30 an hour in New York, which goes pretty much against, I don't know, everything that guy is speaking of lately. Proposed budget increase, I think I saw $10 billion. Well, I thought everything was going to be free, bro. I don't know how that works out. From what I've seen, the buses still aren't free. The subways still aren't free. All the folks who make a lot of money are having a mass exodus, which the writing was on the wall there, but how's that whole thing working out? Other than the shit show that it seems to be. And now, granted, if you're in that neck of the woods on the East Coast, New York or Boston or Baltimore, dare I say, any of the places that are just getting just pummeled with snow, I hope you guys are doing well. I'm sorry that I'm not trying to make light of that. The bonus is you can call in sick because apparently you can't even see your car, let alone get in it to go to work. So, you got to try and find the silver lining in these things. Again, hope y'all are doing well. Stay warm. Let your sanctuary mayors figure it out. They've got a plan. They're bringing folks from all over the country. And the reason I can say that with any kind of certainty is I happen to know an individual from my neck of the woods who has been flown out there for the second time to clear snow as an equipment operator. That just seems crazy to me. But what do I know at the end of the day? I do know that y'all have been getting hit real hard, and by the sounds of it, it isn't done yet. Also on the West Coast, it's just skipping over us here in the middle, which I'm fine with. It just needs to stabilize so my joints will stop being pissed. Too many screws and plates in places they don't belong, and shit hurts. But that's also what I get for being 50. Oh, Lord. Almost, let's see, 50 days out, I guess. Huh. That's ironic. 50 in 50 days. God. Yeah, it's gross. But it is what it is, right? Again, gotta find the silver lining in something. What I think we can all agree on is that no matter what, day in, day out, Monday, every day that ends in Y, I was going to rattle them off, but every day that ends in Y, there can be a silver lining found in everything, right? God willing, I don't wake up tomorrow in a gutter, or I guess, God willing, I wake up at all. And I still have, clean water to drink and food to put in my belly. We need to remember those things. We need to get back to the basics. Yes, many of us are spoiled, and I'm willing to admit that. I am on that list. I have probably more than I deserve. That doesn't mean I have much. I barely got a pot to piss in, but that doesn't mean that it's more than I deserve necessarily. But again, let's try and get back to the basics. Be thankful for what we have, for the opportunities we're given. Like I said, be thankful if you wake up tomorrow at all. And I think that will eventually get us back to where we need to be as a society. And that is global. That is not limited to just these here United States by any means. I know that that's sometimes easier said than done, here, there, everywhere, but we've got to at least try, right? So we will keep on trying. I hope that you all keep on trying. And I feel like that's probably just enough rambling for me for this time, for this end of season 3 episode. It's been a wild ride. Like I said in the beginning, I can't thank each and every one of you enough. I hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as I have. I hope you guys have enjoyed it more than I have. I love doing it, but it doesn't come cheap or easy. It's a lot of work, and financially, that's a whole different story. So, but I'm going to keep doing it as long as you guys will keep on listening. So, like I said, keep sharing. Let everybody know where and how they can have a listen. And we will be back in a week, possibly 2. I'm going to try and keep up the frequency as much as I can, so I don't anticipate 2 weeks, but we will be back with season 4. We'll get some more guests rolling through and have some more shop nights and some shenanigans. In the meantime, I hope everybody stays safe. Try and love one another. Help one another if you can. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. Love you guys. Cheers.